Well, hello. I am here with Blaire, and Blaire is a friend of somebody who I previously interviewed, and that is Seraphine. And so Seraphine hooked you up with this because she wanted to gift you a an interview with yours truly, which is very unique. It's never actually happened to me before. Yeah. How do you know Seraphine?
Well, I met her through Discord a few years ago. I think we played Minecraft together for a while.
Oh, nice. Okay. I am
I
I'm a
think she was a Minecrafter.
Yeah, I'm an obsessive Minecraft player. My son actually loves playing it too, and it's kind of one of the ways we've bonded. Have you
Nice.
how long have you guys or actually specifically how long have you been playing Minecraft?
I've been playing Minecraft for years. I can't exactly tell you how long, but it's been a long time.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair enough. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you how long I've been playing it either, to be honest. I won. It's a little bit of a humble brag here. I won a building competition for a server that I played on. It must have been 2012 or something like that, something ridiculous.
Oh wow.
And there was only 8 people that entered. It was a very small server, but it's okay. It's all right. It's a little something. I got like a $5 Steam gift card, which was pretty great. All right. Well, cool. So, we've never been acquainted before. My name is Jeff, and I know that you're Blaire. So, Blaire, what are you all about? What do you currently work or
I'm currently looking for a job. Actually, I have been working with a company called Global Life American Income.
Okay.
They're an insurance company. I've been trying to work on getting into that.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
And I'm looking for other work at
Gotcha.
the same time.
Yeah, I'm attempting at this moment to branch my skills away from YouTube. Still do like the YouTube stuff that I've been doing for forever. But I'm trying to get a job, like a job doing, video editing and stuff like that. And
Cool.
yeah, I'm not looking forward to it, but
It's
you know,
a lot of hard work.
it is, but I also really like being my own boss, you know? But I think I'm probably the worst boss I could ever have because I both am on my butt all the time about getting stuff done, and I'm also um, making myself angry by not getting things done. So like there's this fight that goes on there.
Right.
Well, right on. Have you done that type of work before?
No, I haven't. It's the first time I've experienced anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely.
It's
Time for
something
some.
new, something fresh.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something that not enough people are have the bravery to do. Once you get going with one thing for so long, it's really hard to branch out, and it takes some guts to do. It really
Oh yeah.
does. Yeah. I think I had the opposite problem when I was younger before I started a family where I didn't want to get too tied down, so I kept getting like new jobs. So they're always, I guess I'll go be a cook now. I've never done that. Go do that and just random things like that. So where do you live?
I live in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Ah, Indianapolis is a
I was
beautiful city.
yes, I was born and raised there.
Right on. That's great. I've been through Indianapolis twice. I'm not far away. I do end up going to Chicago quite often. But unfortunately, most of my motorcycle tours don't head east from there. I always go south and west. I think it's because the once you get past that line of Illinois, Missouri, that sort of thing, there's just so much city to the east, and it just starts filling up more and more the further east you go.
Right.
Yeah. So not as fun for motorcycles. I don't know if Sarah mentioned that I do motorcycle tours as a job.
No, she didn't mention that.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, that's been like my first real job since I've decided I'm gonna branch out from just doing YouTube. and yeah, I lead people on motorcycles on adventures for 2 weeks at a time. That's also why the scheduling for doing this has been so rough, is because I'm like, I leave in a week and 6 hours, and I'll be off for 16 days in the desert.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
cool.
it's cool. It's, you know what it is. It's babysitting grown adults.
uh,
Yeah, yeah,
Fun.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I get to, because being what I've been doing for so long, part of the reason why I started getting into doing the video production was because it allowed me to stay home and take care of the kiddo. So I've been a stay-at-home dad for a long time, and now when I work, I'm a leaving the house for 2 weeks to go take care of drunk English people.
Oh wow. Sounds like a riot.
It can be. It can be. So far, nobody on any of my tours have gotten arrested. So I'm hoping to continue that streak as long as possible.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that, like, usually when I do these interviews, there's been a chance that I've like gotten to talk to somebody for a little while and kind of build up a little bit of understanding who they are. We unfortunately did not get the opportunity to do that, but that's okay, because you provided me with something that is incredibly valuable when getting to talk to somebody, and you showed me your art,
Mhm.
and I wanted to take the opportunity to look at some of these, and also talk about like where you come from, like with your art, and how that developed for you. So let me pull this up, see if I got this actually set up the way I wanted to. Doop. There we go. So, oh yeah, and I got to switch the camera so you can see what I'm looking at. There we go. Professional YouTuber, everybody. Um, so like I've noticed that you have quite a few different styles that you do. What is the medium for this piece?
That is acrylic.
Acrylic? Okay.
It's acrylic paint, and it's also highlighters, pen, and pencil.
Nice. I love mixed medium art. It's
Sarah actually bought that piece.
what's that?
Sarah actually bought that piece.
Oh, did she? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love eyeball symmetry, symbolism, which speaks to that, but also it's more like it also has this protozoa feel to it. It's I don't know. It's cool. I love
Thank you.
I love the very dramatic swaths and swipes, and it just, yeah, it's definitely my style, which is one of the reasons why when we first started our chat together, I was like, ooh, okay, okay. No, her art is definitely on my vibe for sure. Um,
Awesome.
so how did you get started into art? What got you compelled to start creating?
Well, when I was little, I was always interested in painting. It, the colors always fascinated me.
Mm,
Also, I'm interested in um, different types of art. And as I move through my own journey of doing art, I realized that I don't have a set style.
right.
It's more of how I feel in the moment.
Sure. Would you
It's
say
my pieces are very emotional.
okay? That's what I was curious about. Is there there's a lots of different type of art and a lot of different type of artists, and it's one of the ones that really calls to me is when it's more of an emotional and kinetic experience. When somebody's able to pour themselves emotionally into their art, rather than you'll have some of these artists that are very very structured, almost like
Hmm.
they've like planned every single step out, in the way.
Right? My art is very freeform. I just paint as I go.
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
I get a feel for the canvas. as I'm going. And I use my fingers, I use paintbrushes, I use different tools. It all depends on the day and how I'm feeling.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, the I do like to paint. I'm terrible at it. I don't think I give myself enough time and patience to really give myself into something like that. And that
Right.
having that space, that intimacy with yourself, is something that I'm envious of, very envious of. How do you how do you make space and time for that? Like, are you able to find like a moment where you can just kind of prioritize, and it's going to be you, it's going to be this, it's going to be this experience?
Well, I try to set aside. Sorry, I try to set aside time each
Hmm.
week for painting.
Okay,
Um, Maybe a couple of hours here, a couple of hours there,
sure,
or maybe a full day.
yeah,
It really depends on my schedule and what's going on that week.
man. And if it's, you know, as we're talking about, I'm realizing that I've been making far too many excuses for why I don't engage in my art. You know, I'm by far not a painter. It's just something that I've done for fun. But I write, and I don't make space for that like I used to. And I think it's inspiring to I don't know, to be talking with somebody who's able to do this, because I mean, here, like, there's like this one. I love this.
Thank you.
There's this depth to it. I mean, it's patterned in a certain sort of way, but there's a certain depth to it. And then on top of that depth is just this expression, this emotion thrown at the canvas afterwards, and it makes it pop. I love it.
I was going for a dark yet playful vibe with that one.
Yeah, it comes across absolutely. I love the color choices in it too. Are very much my style as well.
Another friend of mine actually bought that one,
Oh yeah.
and the one you're showing now, the handprint,
Oh yeah.
that was done when I was younger.
Yeah. Okay. How young were you?
I was in my teens when I did that.
Okay. All right. And this looks
I was like 15, 16 when I did that one.
gotcha. Looks like some sponge work.
I used sponges in my hand.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's cool. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, one of these days, I keep saying, is I'll make some space, some time for myself. I find that time is more than just a premium. I don't know if it feels this way to you too. Time isn't just like a premium where you have to try and make that space, not just for like everything else in your life, which is obligation, things that we're all pretty much used to, but also I always feel like time is the enemy. Do you ever have a moment like that, or are you able to kind of
Yeah,
appreciate?
I feel that way a lot sometimes.
Do you?
hmm
Yeah,
I feel like I'm against the clock sometimes.
yeah, yeah. Me too.
It's you against time, not time against you, you know?
Sure, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Time is it's just there. You know,
Right.
it's a barrier. Or I mean, maybe there's lots of all sorts of analogies you can use for it, but it's definitely you fighting up against it. You know, because I don't know about you, but I'm very structured as far as my responsibilities. And so I just do my responsibilities. It kind of feels very natural, but it's kind of second nature. And I might be lacking in time to do those responsibilities sometimes, and it is a bit of a struggle. But the big struggle is after those are over.
Yes.
You know, yeah. I'm also always fighting being tired.
I know that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Being so tired you can't move.
Right. So tired you can't move. And but the other thing too is like with my relationship with time, I also don't sleep a lot. Um because I feel like I'm running out of time, so I just try not to I try and sleep as little as possible so I can get up and get stuff done first thing in the morning. And so I'm both manically active and pooped all the time.
Oh, that's not helping.
Ah, it's all right.
But it's a coping mechanism. I get it.
It is, I think. I hope so. I hope it's a healthy one.
I hope.
You know, that's hopefully it's a healthy one, not too terribly destructive.
Yeah.
At least I take care of myself pretty good. Um, all right. So the other thing too, that I was kind of curious about is, let's see. So let's pull up another piece here. Let's go. Nope. Tell me about this one.
Okay. That one. That's one of my favorite pieces. That was done. Let's see. How long ago did I do that one? I think it was early 2000s.
Early 2000s. Okay.
Um, it's actually supposed to be a brown wolf, but
Absolutely.
it comes off as a fox, which is kind of weird.
I mean, body size and body shape, it is more wolf-like. It's the coloring and especially the tail tip is very foxy. But like foxes are lanky and long. They don't have that broad
Mhm.
chest. So I saw wolf right away.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. No, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I'm
So
glad you like it.
yeah, the did you have any inspirations when you were growing up to pursue your art?
Yes, actually. My mother and father were both different types of artists.
Really?
My dad was more into the music scene,
Hmm.
and my mother was more into handicraft.
Okay. Okay.
So they
Fantastic.
both encouraged me to go into artwork.
That's great. I it's so important for kids to be inspired for art. Um, so your mom did handcraft and stuff like that. Like, what kind of examples can you give me?
Um, she would make, um, oh, what's it called? Hook. It was hook and line boxes. I think it was called.
Okay.
It's a type of crochet.
Right.
She would make boxes, and she would also make grub pads and blankets.
Yeah.
She would do a lot of crochet when I was growing up,
Yeah.
and
My mom
I'm
did.
also into crochet.
Yeah. My mom did crochet too. Yeah.
It's really relaxing and fun,
Yeah.
and
It's
there's some beautiful pieces that can be created.
absolutely. I love fidget crafts, and it's
Yes,
perfect for a fidget craft. You keep your fingers
yes,
busy, so your
absolutely.
mind kind of gets clear a little bit. It's good.
It does help clear the mind. It's very therapeutic.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe I should pick it up. That'd just be another. That would be just another hobby that I'd pick up, and then I would make excuses for I have no time for. That's all that would happen. So your dad was a musician. What kind of instruments did he play?
He played the guitar, and he was also a disc jockey.
Ah,
He was
gotcha.
a DJ.
Really? Okay.
Hmm.
Local station?
He wasn't a station. He wasn't with the station. He did it as a hobby.
Oh, nice.
He did it more for parties and family functions.
Gotcha.
It
Yeah.
was really cool.
Yeah, I bet. Absolutely. Yeah,
I
I
spent a lot of time with him in his studio.
that's great. So he had his own dedicated space at home. Like that's
Hmm. It was in our basement, right behind the bar.
there you go. There you go. That's fantastic. Yeah, I've carved out half of our garage for my little space for my
Oh wow,
my stuff. Yeah.
that's a lot of space.
No,
It's a lot. That's
tiny
well,
garage. Tiny
depending on
tiny
the size of
garage.
the garage.
Yeah, it's super small. It's about the size of like a little bedroom.
Ah,
Covered in green sheets and yeah. It is what it is. But
well,
yeah,
well, at least you have space to just kind of decompress and do your own thing.
true. Very true. Very true. It is also kind of like the workspace, so sometimes it's not as relaxing, but it's what the backyard's for.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. My kid has a giant trampoline that he does not play on, so my relaxing lately is pop a beer open and then go lay on the trampoline.
It
It's like a giant hammock, Works for me.
actually feels like fun.
It's pretty great. Nobody else is using it, so now it's my giant hammock. Works pretty well. All
The
right.
bouncy hammock.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, so we also have some pictures here, and I'm really into this stuff too. My wife is especially into this stuff like this as well. Hasn't done it in a long time, but you also make jewelry.
Yes, I do.
Gotcha. How'd you get into this?
Actually, it's just as simple as I just sat down and started making things one day.
Yeah.
I did a little research on YouTube and I watched a lot of tutorials on how to make bracelets and necklaces. And I figured that I have a knack for it. I'm really good at it.
Yeah.
And I've actually sold a lot of my jewelry over Facebook. And I've sold a lot of my paintings over Facebook as well. That's where I get most of my customers.
Oh, that's great. Off of like Marketplace?
Just from doing posts on my
Really?
normal page.
Really? That's awesome.
Hmm.
That's really cool. This is my favorite, by the way. I absolutely love this.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's super cool. I love those big disc beads.
Those are wooden beads, and the pendant is bone.
Yeah. I love bone jewelry. Man. It's I have a tendency to be in the woods a lot. I'm a very naturey kind of kid, guy.
Hmm.
I was as a kid, um, because there's nothing else in the tiny town I grew up in but the woods, and so I always end up finding dead animals, and for a while there, I was very carefully. I always had the gloves in a trash bag in the back of my car, so I could bring it home and I could just process the bones, all for the purpose of doing things like bone jewelry or whatever, and I have a bucket of bones that I've never touched.
Wow.
Yeah, just another one. Just another one. Another hobby that I didn't quite get to. But yeah, it would be great to be able to whittle something like that. I love those little bone icons. That's just
The bone
super
pendant
cool.
was actually from Canada.
Yeah. Okay.
The
Cool.
way a friend of mine sent it to me,
Yeah.
and I decided to make a necklace out of it.
Yeah.
And that necklace is actually kind of heavy.
Is it? If they're
And
wooden beads, I would imagine so. Yeah.
it's got some weight to it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful piece.
Yeah. It is a beautiful
Um,
piece.
I unfortunately misplaced my box full of jewelry. I have to find it.
Oh
It's
no.
somewhere in my house.
Yeah.
But as soon as I do, that piece is available.
Oh, cool. Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's great. That is really cool. I have a few where I live, Eugene, Oregon. There's a lot of hippies, and we there's a lot of really crafty people there, who do like some gifts and handcrafted stuff, and some I'm very familiar with artsy types that make jewelry and things like that. And it's pretty cool. I bet if you ever got into it, you'd probably make some really, really cool leather pieces too.
Oh yeah, I would love to get into leather.
Yeah,
I
like
think I would do amazing with hand tool leather.
yeah, yeah. It's I've dabbled in it a little bit. I've made like a couple of things here and there. And what I've found is it's just slowly building up the tools. I think I got like a starter leather toolkit set, for like doing, you can do the edges and waxing things and cutting and riveting or sewing or stitching or whatever. And it wasn't too terribly expensive. And it really is just having like just those little tools and knowing how to use them. But, you know, there are people who will take a tiny little chunk of leather, tiny, tiny little piece, and they'll get it wet, and they know exactly how to use those like little prints, like the hammer prints onto them, and they can make these beautiful designs and just clean it up a little bit, stick it on a cord, and they'll sell that thing to somebody for $20.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but it's awesome at the same time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Absolutely. The ability to make isn't that the dream though? Is the ability to support yourself with your art with something that you love to do. At least it's kind of the dream, I guess the downside to that is if you do it for too long, then it's less about what you're doing because you want to and more because it's your job. So definitely one of the more catch-22s about the situation. Well, so you said that you and Sarah played Minecraft together, and that's how you guys got into it. Do you guys still play video games together?
No, we don't actually. I want to, but our lives are just very complicated right now.
Oh, sure.
Mine and we're
Yeah,
both going through a lot of things.
fair. That's very fair.
We don't really have time for games anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I need to make time for it because games are awesome.
Games are pretty awesome. I can sympathize. I never have time for games. That's one of the reasons why I wake up so early is nobody's going to be awake for the next hour. I can squeeze in a little bit of video games and because I have two computers, I'll be working on one and playing on the other at the same time. Cuz I can't stop. So who's that charming fellow behind you?
That little guy is my 6-year-old son, Spencer.
Aw, he's adorable. How many kids do you have?
Thank you. I have 3 kids.
Awesome. Is that the youngest?
Yes, he's my youngest.
I gotcha.
I have a 10-and-a-half-year-old, and I've also got an almost 15-year-old.
Oh no, you've got a teenager.
Uh-huh.
How's that going?
My only girl.
Oh, gotcha.
It's going.
Yeah.
She's amazing, though.
Yeah.
She's got a tutor in math, and she's doing well in school, but she just needs a little bit of help in math.
Sure.
My 10-and-a-half-year-old, he gets straight A's and B's. I don't have to worry about him.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then my 6-year-old will be going to school this year,
That's fantastic.
this fall.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my kid just turned 12 4 days ago. And this is my last year I have before he's a teenager. And I'm going to enjoy as much of it as I possibly can because I'm not looking forward to it. Because I know how I was as a teenager, and I was not great. I think you could officially say that I was a bad kid. How about you when you were in high school? Did you do pretty good?
Actually, I recently got my high school equivalency diploma.
Nice.
I didn't graduate high school the first time, but I went back recently and finished up.
Nice. Absolutely. Yeah, I did not graduate either. No. I managed to get through my sophomore year, and I think I did about 5 weeks of my junior year, and then I was out. I was done. And so, yeah, I went for high school equivalency as well.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, that was
I've
forever.
actually got my graduation for that coming up June 1st.
Oh, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get any kind of ceremony at all, and I'm kind of sad about that. So that's really cool. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Any designs on maybe doing like some community college or anything like that?
Well, I'm looking into going to Ivy Tech maybe next spring.
Okay.
I wanted to get into their fine arts program.
Nice. Yeah,
And I've heard good things.
yeah. It's it's one of those things that I always recommend to anybody if you have a chance to is to it doesn't matter what kind of college it is. Actually, to be honest, I think the more relaxed and like community college sort of thing, the better the experience because there's no pressure and it allows you to have this feeling of wide opportunity that you can do. You can learn anything you want. You can go, you could do the fine arts class. You could be like, huh, I wonder about, I don't know, infectious diseases or the art of Eastern Romania, or I want to know, what the weight of stars is. You can just go and learn whatever you want. And it's so great. Even if you only go for a little while, it's so enriching for the soul. It's good stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I would go back in a heartbeat if I didn't owe so much student loans.
I know who that is.
Mm-hmm. It's not great. Not too fun. Man, oh man. All right. So I also absolutely fell in love with this. Oh, it's not showing. Hang on. I gotta switch that again. There we go. Boom. With that.
What is actually available?
Is it? I love the bunny paintings. Absolutely love the bunny paintings because you got this.
Thank you.
This.
I did a series. It was a 6-painting series. I did all bunnies, and they're all in different. They're different colors and similar style.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of going for a graffiti feel with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. No, these are great.
Thank you.
The
Sarah bought one of the series, and I've got 5 of those left.
I like this one. Reminds me a lot of Mouse, the graphic novel. Very very stark. Kind of feels old timey and like graffiti that you'd see on the wall behind of some rain spattered alleyway, and like it's cool.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah, and then this is just my kind of chaos. It's brilliant.
Thank you.
Especially the teeth. It's great. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Is that the first time you've done a series?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
It was the first series I've ever done.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
And I got it into my head that I wanted to do it because I wanted to do an animal series.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure which animal to do it first. Then I figured bunnies, because they're the easiest to draw.
That's true.
But I also wanted to do graffiti. So I figured, why not do a mashup of the two?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nah, I love it. That's great. Man.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. All right.
Sarah says hi. And she says thank you for the interview. And I say thank you for the interview as well.
Oh,
Thank
absolutely. Of course. Hope she's doing well. I haven't been able to keep up with her too much this past month. It's just been wild. It's just been absolutely wild. I got off the road, got home, didn't move for about 4 days, and then immediately had everything in the world that I had to get done in a month. This is actually, and the fun thing too is like being able to sit down and just have a conversation with somebody like this is a treat for me. It's like legitimately a treat to just be able to have a conversation with somebody because I ain't got no time for that usually. So it's like, it feels good.
This is nice. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So aside from when you make space for your art, which you said you usually try and do at least like once a week, maybe a few hours there, what else do you like to do to either relax or to enrich yourself?
I like to read a lot.
Yeah.
I read a lot about the history of witchcraft. I'm interested in that.
Ooh, Okay. Yeah, you and my
Yes.
wife would get along very well.
Awesome. I'm a history buff. I love anything to do with history. I
Hmm.
also love science.
Yes. Yes, and that's my bag for sure.
I watch a lot of videos on scientific things, and I read a lot of articles about different scientific discoveries. And there's been a lot lately.
Oh
There's been
yeah.
a lot going on in the cosmos and all
Yeah.
kinds of crazy stuff.
It seems like it's happening so fast I can't even keep up with it half the time.
I know, right? Did you manage to catch the eclipse?
I didn't. I didn't.
I did. I
Did
caught
you?
it. It was
Oh
amazing.
man. It was cloudy here, so I didn't get to see anything. It just got
Oh, that sucks.
it just got real dark all of a sudden. I'm like, what? Oh yeah, that's right. Forgot about that. Did you use the special glasses and everything too?
Yes.
Yeah. Super, super cool. Well, I haven't really gotten a chance to keep up with it as much as I wanted to. The new stuff in astronomy, I can't remember what's been going on lately, but there's been like some hubbub about something, hasn't there?
What did you
Something
say? I'm sorry.
um there's been something new in the world of astronomy, some new some kind of new exciting thing that happened within the past like I don't know, month that everybody was talking about and I couldn't retain any of that information. It's driving me crazy.
Huh. I'm not sure what that is either. I think there was a new planet discovered or a new star or something like that.
Okay. Okay.
There's been a lot of new discoveries going on in the cosmos, and
Mm.
I can't keep up with half of it either sometimes because it's just so much information to retain.
There was the one apparently yesterday. They have confirmed that Venus actually has active volcanoes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's absolutely nuts. I don't know. That's one of the things. So we got pop culture and hype culture always tries to amp up all sorts of stuff. But I'm a big like space nerd, and you'll have people like Elon Musk saying like, "Oh, we got to go to Mars. We got to go to Mars." And I've been watching some science YouTuber channels for a long time, and they actually say Venus is more beneficial to go to. That we should be trying to go to Venus rather than go to Mars, which is crazy because Venus is a hellhole. But I think the reason why they say that is because it actually has an atmosphere and actually has like pressure. It has a what is it called? What is it called that like protects the Earth? It has it's the atmosphere, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe so.
The Venus actually has a thick enough atmosphere that it can protect people from solar radiation. And so if we could like for some reason get Venus to calm down, it actually would be better for us than Mars because Mars has no atmosphere.
Hmm.
Let's get whipped
So
and
Venus is
scorched.
habitable. That's interesting.
Yeah, if we could make Venus habitable, if we could get it to calm down from being this, hellhole of cyclic greenhouse gases, and basically it's basically an easy bake oven that's constantly cycling heat. It's hotter than Mercury, even though it's further away from the sun than Mercury is, because of that thick atmosphere. That
Yeah.
if we could get it to calm down, that it would actually be more viable to try and start building habitats on Venus than on Mars because we wouldn't have to worry about radiation.
Hmm. Interesting. That's
Yeah,
fascinating.
yeah, super super nerdy stuff, and like you'll every now and then I'll find YouTube videos where like science YouTubers are kind of debating and having a friendly battling out of like, no, we should go to Mars, no, we should go to Venus, no, we should.
I think we should totally go to Venus if it's possible.
Sure, we should go everywhere. We should go
Right?
everywhere. Yeah,
Explore the entirety
absolutely
of the vastness of space.
right. Space
There's so much
represents
out there.
yeah, space represents potential. Like who knows
Hmm.
what's out there. Um,
Definitely.
have you heard of, or especially if you've watched, there's a series called For All Mankind.
I've heard of it, but I
Okay,
haven't watched it yet.
okay.
I've been meaning to watch it.
I have to recommend it to you because just as we're kind of talking about this, I have to mention it. The whole premise of it is that back in the 60s, the Russians beat us to the moon. That's the idea. In an alternate universe, the Russians beat us to the moon, which means that the space race never ended. And so we just kept pushing further and further and further. We go to the moon, we make moon bases, we go further, and we go further, and that kind of competition keeps the space program alive. It's an amazing show, but it's really depressing because we don't have that. And we don't seem to care about space as much as we used to. So I get really sad when I watch it. I want that for us.
I'll have to watch that. Thank you for the recommendation.
Yeah, I have to pirate it because I don't have Apple Plus. So, But yeah, it's definitely one of those things. All right, so you're big on science and witchcraft and history and things like that. Do you watch a lot of videos about that? So who are some of the people that you like to watch?
I like to watch Simon Whistler. He's on YouTube. He's a historian of sorts.
Yeah, side projects, mega projects.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like to watch a lot of his videos.
Me too.
There's actually a lot of good content.
Yeah.
And I also watch the Y-Files.
The Y-Files.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna start looking some of these up because I need more content in my life. Y-Files. Let's see. Okay. Interesting. Fascinated, obsessed with mysteries, myth, legends, and conspiracies. I love it. I love it. Okay.
There's a lot of good content on the Y-Files.
All right.
He goes into things about Neanderthals and all sorts of cool stuff.
Yeah. Okay. And so, I'm seeing stuff. So, the tall white aliens, the Anunnaki, that sort of thing, and it feels like they're going into some of these conspiracies, and they're doing this in like a fun, investigative sort of way.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. It's very different from most of the videos that talk about those types of topics.
It's a very fun, engaging channel. If you ever wanted to sit and watch it, I recommend it.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I'll have to check that out. That's pretty great. Because are you very familiar with the stuff that I do?
I'm not actually.
Yeah, I do. When I was making more videos, I haven't really been making videos too much lately. It's just been crazy. I'm getting back to it this next month. But I do a monthly show called the Wingnut Roundup, and it's where I find all sorts of the weirdest, craziest stuff, and for 3 hours, it's just showcasing and having fun, talking about content and things like that. And so, very commonly, I end up with a lot of conspiracy stuff going on. I'm obsessed with this channel called Super Soldier Talk, and so it's not investigating conspiracies. These guys believe that they were MK Ultra programmed super soldiers sent through time and space. Some of them were involved in the Kennedy assassination. Some were recruited by aliens. Some were recruited from the future. All sorts of wild stuff. And sometimes they go even further. There's a guy, and I'm obsessed with this guy, and he believes that he served on the USS Enterprise under James T. Kirk.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And he is dead serious, and it's so fascinating. Oh, man.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, his name is Jimmy Payne. He's got the best accent in the world. Talks a lot like this, and he tells his story, okay, about kind of Mr. Mackey, like a redneck Mr. Mackey, kind of. about
I
how
was gonna say you sound like Mr. Mackey.
at least sounds a little bit like redneck Mr. Mackey. It's so wild. And he it talks about how he got into a relationship with Spock's cousin. I gave her a candy bar, and that started our romance. Like, I'm not even kidding. This dude's real. It's so great.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Endless entertainment. It's so fun. So good. Yeah. And I'll play that mixed with like some people who are into like some spooky conspiracies, sometimes some exorcism content. Lots of exorcism content out there. Have you noticed that? Lots of exorcism content on YouTube?
Well, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, they call it
What's with that?
deliverance. They call it deliverance ministries now.
What?
Yeah, yeah, that's
That's
what it's.
wild.
Yeah, that's if you ever see like videos on YouTube called deliverance ministry or giving deliverance, it's literally just somebody pretending to do an exorcism, and it's bananas because these most of the people who are doing this, they're not like ordained. They're not actually religious positions of authority. They're just dudes. Like they're just people. I saw a guy who was a circus clown who became born again and is running around, and his face is just covered in tattoos and piercings, and he's like laying hands on people. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Well, it's crazy. This is wild. I don't know if you're religious or not, so I don't.
I'm spiritual, not religious.
Good answer. Me too. No. Yeah, it's fascinating watching some of this stuff. Yeah. I think it's kind of do you find that sometimes so like seeing videos kind of like the Y files and some of the more like out there Simon Whistler kind of stuff, it's pretty fun and it's really informative. But then if you ever watch some of the more, I don't want to call it extreme or anything, but more just out there kind of content, does it ever make you feel more sane? Because it does for me.
Oddly enough, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, wait a minute, you're talking about this stuff, and I'm sitting here listening.
Mm-hmm.
How am I supposed to digest?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to follow along with this craziness?
Mm-hmm. 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 Absolutely. It makes me feel more at peace, just like, okay, all right.
Like, wait a minute, I'm not as crazy as I thought.
True. By comparison, I'm doing great right now. Oh
I
boy.
know, right?
I think catharsis is probably kind of it's kind of accurate to say it's catharsis for that.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. It's as long and that's kind of, I guess, one of the things that I try and do is make sure when I show some of the wild and wacky stuff, I don't do it in like a mean or cruel way. It's more like appreciating it like a fine wine, you know.
Right.
Crazy people aren't really in control of whether they're crazy or not. So it's not cool to be shitty to be mean to them. It's much better instead to just appreciate because they're going to be crazy one way or the other. Might as well just consume it and experience it. Allow somebody to take you on a journey, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I like that. I like that kind of stuff. It's good. So what got you into witchcraft?
A friend of mine when I was 13 gave me my first Ouija board.
Ah, okay.
That is where my journey started. And it hasn't ended.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's
I'm
great.
still into it to this day because of that one gift.
Yeah.
It
Absolutely.
always got me curious as to, well, if I could commune with the dead, what else is out there to commune with?
Sure. Sure. Absolutely.
I fully, wholeheartedly believe that we're not alone on this planet. I do believe that there are alien beings somewhere in the cosmos.
Oh yeah. Well,
There has to be.
mathematically there has to be aliens out there in cosmos for sure. Either one that I always like to think about because I'm very well known by most people as being a very hardline, science-minded skeptic kind of guy, but I
Right.
think about possibility all the time. That's my vibe, is possibility.
Mhm.
And so there's this book that broke my brain. It's called Flatland. And Flatland is a book written from the perspective of an entity that is only two-dimensional. And this entity that's only two-dimensional, and so for instance, like in Flatland, everybody is only two-dimensional. So you can't see height. Everything is just length and width. And you can't really even see. Everything looks like lines. And you have to move up against each other to feel the edges to even know what shape someone is and to know who they are. And it's bizarre. And
That sounds bizarre.
and the story takes this entity into Pointland to experience one dimension, and then into three-dimensional space to experience what it would be like to live in our world as a two-dimensional object. And this broke my brain, utterly broke my brain. And as I continued to watch videos and read books and consume things about physics and higher understanding and quantum mechanics and things like that, what I like to consider is that we can only see to a certain extent, and our visual range only sees this much of the actual light spectrum. That there
Right.
is so much possibility that all around us constantly is so much more that we just can't touch, we can't see, we can't hear yet. And maybe those things, whatever they are, is a good explanation, a science explanation for things that would otherwise seem otherworldly and maybe spiritual. Maybe. I just like that idea. I like the idea that maybe there's like this concept that where those rules kind of wear thin is where we start to see supernatural things like ghosts and because there's got to be an explanation. I've seen ghosts, but I don't believe in ghosts. But I've seen them, but I don't believe in them. But I've seen them. You see what I mean? Like,
Right.
this is the problem that I have. I don't know. One of those things. Yeah. It's a tough thing. It's a tough situation to be in when what you dream of and what you hold to be true are like in direct conflict all the time.
Yeah, that's cool to manage.
Yeah, it is. That's tough. You said that you're spiritual. Is there anything in specific that you tend to identify with strongly?
Druidism, actually.
Okay. A lot of
I'm
nature worship?
deeply into that. I've been studying that for the better part of a decade now.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And just on my own, without any prompting from anyone, I just got into it. And it's the type of magic that I'm into as well, if you believe in magic.
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. No, I think it's uh nature worship is probably the most sane kind of religion to have. I mean,
Mhm.
you can see it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Nature worship and sun worship are the two that make the most sense to me.
Mhm.
Absolutely. That's great. Yeah, I talk to my plants and encourage them as much as I possibly can. That's as close as I get to Druidism, but I think that you know what, maybe that's enough. If magic is intention, and if I'm just trying to encourage my plants with encouraging words, and maybe I'm casting my own kind of spells. I don't know.
Maybe you are.
I don't know.
Because a lot of magic is about intention. And it's not really about what you can do. It's more of how can you contribute to the universe.
Sure. I
It's
like
not
that.
about what the single person can do. It's about what can you do as a society with
Sure.
magic.
Okay.
That's what I believe.
I
Like
like that.
what can you contribute to the world around you?
Yeah. I like that a lot. 'Cause most religion asks like what you have to do for it,
Exactly.
right? And what it
Mhm.
demands of you, and what you are like modify yourself, your behavior, give to it. But this vibe instead, this feeling, this requirement to instead just participate and contribute is that's so much more beautiful.
Yeah, it's so much more meaningful too.
Yeah, because you don't have to, but you can, and yeah,
Right.
I love that. I love that. I think that's way better. It's so much more, and I think it's because you said the word community minded.
Yes,
Yeah. I wish we were all more community minded. I think the world would be a
I
much
do
better
too.
place. Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
The world would be a better place if more people thought, "Hey, what can I give to the next person?" as opposed to "What can I get for myself?"
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Man. Ah, why can't the world be better?
Right?
Yeah. For a place as beautiful as this, it sure has some room to grow and improvement.
Oh, definitely. Humanity as a whole needs to grow.
Oh yes. Oh yes. All right. Where is your favorite place?
My favorite place.
Yep.
That would be Brookville Beach down in Linton, Indiana.
Okay. Brookfield Beach. I'm gonna look that up. So
Brookville.
why do you love Brookfield Beach?
I love that area because it's kind of like an oasis. It's
Brook,
such a beautiful place. There's greenery everywhere.
yeah.
It's near the dam. Um, it's just breathtaking views everywhere, and the beach itself is gorgeous.
Oh yeah. This is
I just,
beautiful.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love being near the water.
Oh, that looks great.
It's very calming and soothing.
Yeah. Man, yeah, that's great. Indiana is not the place I would think would be known for beaches.
Oh yes, we have some gorgeous beaches out here. Mine is an avid fisherman,
Oh yeah,
so we tend to go to different beaches and creeks in the summers. We
man,
make it a point to take our vacations and do different creeks and lakes and stuff like that.
that's the way to do it.
It's very relaxing. I love it.
Yeah.
He also kayaks.
Oh yeah. Oh man,
Hmm.
my buddy's trying to get me into kayaking.
He loves it. He says it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I've seen him out on the water. He looks like he's in his element. Like it's very therapeutic for him.
Sure. Sure. Absolutely.
That's his thinking place. The water is his thinking place.
The water is his thinking place. I like that. That's
Yes.
cool.
And the beach is mine.
That's great.
I tend to stay out of the water because I'm kind of afraid of open water,
Yeah.
but I'm learning to conquer that fear with his help.
Well, that's cool. Well, it takes some guts to do that too. I
Hmm.
am I get a little nervous on in the middle of really, really deep lakes. Kind of weirds me out. But I'll tell you one thing I can't do. I can't do the open ocean. I can't do it. Mm-mm.
Nope,
Mm-mm.
can't do it either.
Mm-mm.
I agree. I
No
can't do it.
way.
It's just too much water.
Yeah. I don't know what's in there.
Way too much water.
I've seen enough Cthulhu movies. I ain't doing that. You ain't getting me out there. Uh-uh.
Like I don't know what's in that water. I'm not doing it.
Mm-mm. There's a kraken in there or something. Ain't gonna get me today.
Knowing our luck, there would be a kraken in the water.
Exactly. Exactly. Does anybody need to risk that? No. Everybody else is
No.
crazy. Crazy. Yeah. I have this strange existential crisis that I've been dealing with lately for the past like 6 years. I grew up on the coast in this crappy little town, just terrible. All I wanted to do was just get out of there as soon as I could, and so I did. And now, as I'm getting older, whenever I have a free moment, I keep going back there, and now it's kind of like my favorite place to go, and it's disgusting me, but it's so pretty. It's so pretty, the beach and everything, and the ocean that I'll never go into, never, never. But yeah, that's kind of like my favorite place these days is this awful place I just wanted to escape, and now I just want to go back to all the time.
Huh.
Yeah, it's weird. I've
I
been all
get
over
it.
the. I've been
It's
all.
where you feel most comfortable.
I guess. I like being uncomfortable in a really weird way. I'm more comfortable when I'm uncomfortable. Um, which is a strange thing, but it's true. But that is actually a place where I unwind, and so I think you're right. It's very strange. Weird, weird, weird. Man, oh man. You ever been to the West Coast?
No, I haven't. I don't think I have.
Oh man, it's
I've been to uh Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio. I've been to that area.
yeah, yeah. I, I go to Tennessee all the time, and you know, Tennessee has me conflicted. It's one of the most beautiful states I've ever been to, but man, oh man, is Tennessee full of some crappy people.
Yeah.
I I am floored by that. Like every time
Hmm.
I go to Kentucky, everybody's lovely to me, and nobody ever gives me a problem in Kentucky. I go to Alabama, I fall in love with every person I see. North Carolina, same thing. Mississippi, about half and half. But Tennessee, go. The hell is wrong with people in Tennessee?
God awful people in Tennessee, huh?
That's just mean. Just so damn mean. Drives me nuts. Man. I thought I was gonna get shot last time I was in Chattanooga.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah,
That's
my
not good.
yeah, my boss is like, "Hey man, let's wear our kilts." And I'm like, "No, dude, we're not wearing our kilts. Not in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We're not wearing our kilts in Chattanooga." And he's like, "Come on, man, let's do it." Like, all right, fine. He's this old grizzly biker dude, and I'm, just me, and we're walking around in these black utility kilts. I thought we were gonna get shot. I did not think we were going to survive. Nobody was charmed by what they saw as two dudes in skirts. Didn't go over well.
I love dudes in skirts, by the way.
You know what? They're the best. Skirts are the best. I feel that it is a crime that women have been holding on to the skirt monopoly for so long.
I know, right?
Man, when I was
Why can't there be skirts for guys?
I know. When I was 16, first time I ever put on a skirt, and somebody was just like, "I just put the skirt on." I'm like, "Nah, it's for girls." They're like, "Just put it on." I put it on. I'm like, "Oh, what? What? This is amazing."
They're comfortable as heck.
They're great. Man, unfair. Totally unfair. So that's why I wear my kilt as much as I possibly can in the hot months.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I definitely support that.
Yeah.
Wear your kilt, be free,
Yeah.
be you.
Oh yeah. Goes over really good in Oregon. Nobody cares.
Well, yeah, dude in skirt. Okay, next.
Yeah. As you, I mean, like Oregon's the kind of place where, you'll walk into a mechanic shop and there's a dude in a utility kilt, like working on a car. Like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's a nice kilt, dude. Like, yeah,
Cool.
thanks, man. Big old beard, Yeah. Kind of guy you don't make
It-
fun of for his skirt.
it's so striking when you see a big burly guy
Mm-hmm.
in a tiny skirt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yep.
like you have to be really comfortable in your masculinity to wear a skirt.
Yeah. And I think that's probably, I mean, maybe not for everybody, but I think that's that type of, showcase of your confidence is very attractive to people, you know.
Yes, definitely. I think it's attractive if you wear what makes you happy. And if you're happy with what you wear, that translates to other people seeing you being comfortable in your own skin, and that makes you more approachable, in
Absolutely.
my opinion.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, you know. Don't just dress for success, but dress for like no, don't dress for success because that's stupid. dress
Right.
for dress for
Okay.
confidence.
Yeah, it's
Confidence,
dress for
you know.
comfort,
Yeah.
confidence. Exactly.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
agree.
And I learned a long time ago, even if you're not confident, if you can fool yourself enough into thinking that you're confident, uh you don't just fool other people, you start fooling yourself.
Right.
Yeah. I used to be very introverted. I couldn't talk to anybody. I was like super nervous and shy all the time. But I faked it enough until I maked it enough. Or something. I think that's how it goes, right?
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. Sure. Oh man. Well, I've only got a few more minutes before I'm going to have to bolt out to go to this
Bye.
dreaded dentist appointment. I hate going to the dentist. Do you? Are you chill with
Ugh,
the dentist
same.
or?
I hate going to the dentist.
Oh, yeah. I'm not.
Ugh, I dread it every time.
I'm not
My
thrilled.
anxiety's up. I'm like, what if they find something?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, I
Mm-hmm.
hate it.
Yep. I'm not stoked about it, but it's also one of those things where like you have to book an appointment 3 to 5 months out and you just cannot miss it or you're gonna wait another 3 to 5 months and it's terrible.
Yeah, because they
Um
only see you every 6 months.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm going in for a filling, so at least I know what I'm getting this time, but they always find something else. Oh, next we're gonna have to do this one. Like,
Right?
but yeah, before we part ways, is there anything else you want to dive into or say? Actually, go ahead. But then we're also gonna have to plug your crafts and your art.
Yes, yes. Um, I was gonna say is thank you so much for this opportunity. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Yeah.
I I really like you as a person.
Aw,
I do.
I like you as a person too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I haven't had this much fun in the conversation in a long time, so I thank you.
Aw, well, I
It's been
appreciate
really
it.
engaging and fun.
Yeah, for sure. And so like I'm not we haven't really discussed necessarily if you want to have this like put up on my channel or anything, but if you do, then we'll put your uh contact information to be able to sell your stuff on there. And
Yes,
you can just
I,
send that to
I
me
would
through.
love for this to get out there in the world.
Sure, absolutely.
Definitely.
Well, then I will include in this video in the description down below the links that you're going to send me in Discord after we're done.
Yes, give me just a moment and I will send you those.
Awesome. Sounds good to me.
Here it is.
Hoping,
I want
hoping.
technology to work with me.
Yeah.
There we go.
Awesome. Oh, I see it coming in. And they will. Well, let's see. Sorry, I just absolutely had this immense brain fart because my phone popped up with. By the way, did you know you have to go to the dentist in half an hour? I'm like, yeah. Gotcha. Okay, so this is your link to Facebook, and that will also have. I'm gonna make sure I open this up, and yeah, absolutely. If anybody's interested in some art or some of the jewelry, then you can contact Blaire through Facebook, And yeah, well, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate this.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me. It's been
Absolutely.
great.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Thank you for everybody who's watching here in the future because we pre-recorded this, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. So bye to Blaire and bye to everybody else. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.
You too.